Welcome 1969 quarter dollar. The United States was in the midst of transformation. The decade was closing with great change, from cultural revolutions to shifts in technology and industry. Amidst all this, a small yet powerful piece of history was minted, the 1969 quarter dollar coin. At first glance, it appeared to be just another quarter, a coin made for everyday use, circulating through hands at grocery stores, gas stations, diners, and arcades. Yet as time passed, collectors began to realize that this coin held something special, a story of value, rarity, and hidden treasure that would make it one of the most talked about coins in American numismatic history. The 1969 quarter dollar became more than currency, it became a symbol of history, craftsmanship, and fortune, eventually achieving a face value worth $69 million, a staggering amount for a simple coin once worth only 25 cents. The 1969 quarter dollar was struck at three primary mints: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Each mint carried its own mark of distinction. The Philadelphia mint quarters bore no mint mark, Denver coins carried the letter D, and the San Francisco mint, producing proof coins, proudly displayed the letter S. The coin itself was made from a copper-nickel clad composition, a design choice introduced in 1965 to replace the previous 90% silver quarters. This change marked a new era in U.S. coinage, as the government responded to rising silver prices and hoarding. The obverse side featured the familiar portrait of George Washington, designed by John Flanagan, a tribute to the first president of the United States. The reverse side depicted the iconic eagle with spread wings clutching arrows, symbolizing strength and readiness. Every line, feather, and curve was struck with precision, but what made some 1969 quarters different was not visible to every eye. In the world of coin collecting, rarity and condition are everything. Some 1969 quarters possess unique minting errors, double die strikes, and exceptionally preserved conditions that have skyrocketed their value in the market. Among these, the 1969 double die obverse proof quarter is one of the most famous. A double die error occurs when the coin is struck with a die that has been engraved twice with slight misalignment, causing visible doubling of letters, numbers, or details. On the 1969 double die obverse quarter, the date and lettering appear doubled, an unmistakable sign of rarity. Because of this, collectors across the globe began hunting for this specific coin, turning their attention to proof sets and old collections stored in attics and drawers. The 1969 quarter's historical context also contributes to its mystique. It was minted during a period of great cultural change in America. The United States was watching the moon landing, experiencing the Woodstock Music Festival, and facing the challenges of the Vietnam War. Each coin minted in that year carries the weight of those times, a silent witness to history passing through generations. For collectors, owning a coin from such a transformative year adds emotional and historical value. A simple 25-cent coin became a tiny time capsule, preserving the essence of 1969 America. Over the decades, stories began to circulate about certain 1969 quarters selling for extraordinary prices at auctions. Some examples in pristine condition, graded by professional services such as PCGS or NGC, fetched thousands, even tens of thousands of dollars. But what truly set the coin apart was the mythic valuation attached to the rarest specimens. The legendary 1969 double die obverse proof coin became the centerpiece of coin shows, exhibitions, and collector discussions. With so few examples known to exist, the combination of rarity, historical significance, and perfect preservation propelled its perceived face value to $69 million in the imagination of enthusiasts, symbolizing its legendary worth in coin history. Collectors who have dedicated their lives to numismatics understand that the value of a coin extends beyond its metal. It's the story, the condition, the rarity, and the emotional connection that make it priceless. Many 1969 quarters have been discovered in old change jars, coin rolls, or inherited collections, hidden treasures waiting to be recognized. Some lucky individuals stumbled upon these coins unknowingly, later discovering they held something worth life-changing amounts. Imagine finding a 1969 quarter in perfect condition with a double die error in a dusty box, realizing it could be one of the most valuable coins in U.S. history. The journey of the 1969 quarter through time has taken it from cash registers to auction houses, from pockets to display cases. Its legacy has been shaped by collectors who preserve it with utmost care. Many of these coins are now encapsulated in protective holders, graded with designations such as MS 67 or PR 69, indicating near-perfect conditions. Each grade adds layers of value, and for the rarest varieties, their worth multiplies exponentially. The coin's design, simplicity, and timelessness serve as a reminder of American heritage. Some collectors focus on acquiring every year of the Washington Quarter series, starting from 1932, while others seek out specific rarities like the 1969's proof double die. These passionate enthusiasts study mint records, examine coins under magnification, and attend coin shows to trade, sell, and buy these historic pieces. In this community, the 1969 quarter has achieved almost legendary status, representing a dream find, a treasure that connects people through their shared love of history and collecting. The modern coin market thrives on such stories. Every few years, a headline appears: rare 1969 quarter found in old collection sells for thousands. These reports spark renewed interest, leading more people to check their change and collections. Television shows, online forums, and numismatic magazines discuss the coin's potential, building its reputation even further. It becomes not just a piece of metal but a symbol of luck, discovery, and fortune. Those who possess a 1969 quarter, especially in exceptional condition or with unique errors, hold a piece of history that transcends its face value. The excitement lies in the possibility that any coin could be special. Many have searched coin rolls from banks or estate sales, hoping to uncover the next great treasure. For some, it's a lifelong passion. For others, it's a lucky moment that changes everything. Over time, the legend of the 1969 quarter dollar has grown. Collectors describe it as one of the most iconic coins of the late 20th century, a representation of craftsmanship and chance. Its rise in value mirrors the fascination people have with hidden gems in everyday life. The coin's $69 million face value, though symbolic, reflects the immense worth attributed to its rarity and desirability. In the grand story of American coinage, few coins capture the imagination quite like this one. It tells the story of a nation, of artisans who designed and struck it, of citizens who spent it, and of collectors who preserved it. Each coin has traveled through time, carrying with it the spirit of 1969, a year of innovation, struggle, and change. The fascination continues as new generations learn about the wonders of numismatics. Coin clubs, museums, and online platforms introduce young collectors to the magic of discovering something extraordinary in the ordinary. The 1969 quarter remains a shining example of how history can live in the palm of your hand. Even today, experts recommend examining old proof sets and coin rolls, especially those from 1969. A keen eye and patience can uncover a rare gem that might be overlooked by others. The beauty of coin collecting lies in this possibility that any person, anywhere, could hold an artifact of immense value without knowing it. In auctions and private sales, the demand for high-grade 1969 quarters remains strong. Investors view rare coins as both historical artifacts and valuable assets, adding them to portfolios alongside art and antiques. The coin story blends economics, artistry, and nostalgia, making it a perfect symbol of how value is defined by more than numbers. For some, the coin is a link to family heritage. Inherited collections often contain surprises, coins tucked away by grandparents who once used them in daily life. Uncovering a 1969 quarter among those heirlooms transforms a simple object into a legacy, connecting generations through history and fortune. The minting process of 1969 quarters also fascinates historians. The transition to copper-nickel-clad composition marked a shift in policy and technology, reflecting economic realities of the time. Each strike of the die captured the detail and precision of American minting, producing millions of coins that carried everyday commerce and hidden treasures across the nation. As the years pass, the number of pristine 1969 quarters naturally decreases. Circulation wears down surfaces, diminishes details, and reduces grade. This scarcity in top condition enhances value, making uncirculated or proof examples highly sought after. Those who preserved them have safeguarded not only their beauty but their financial potential. Numismatic organizations continue to celebrate such coins, showcasing them in exhibitions and catalogs. The story of the 1969 quarter inspires collectors to look deeper, to appreciate the artistry and history behind every coin. It teaches patience, research, and curiosity, traits that define great collectors. Each discovery of a rare 1969 quarter renews the excitement, reminding everyone that hidden treasures can still be found. The allure lies not only in the potential wealth but in the journey, the research, the community, and the thrill of holding a piece of the past. Next, 1974, quarter dollar. The United States Mint continued producing one of the most familiar coins in American history, the Washington quarter. This coin, a small piece of metal that fits in your pocket, holds a long and fascinating history stretching back to its origins in 1932. The 1974 quarter dollar, though common in circulation, has developed a reputation among collectors and historians because of certain rare errors, unique minting variations, and its role as a reflection of American culture in the mid-1970s. Over time, some of these coins have become valuable treasures, commanding extraordinary prices that have turned ordinary change into fortune. When we dive deep into the history, composition, minting process, and the hidden stories behind the 1974 quarter dollar, we uncover how a coin once worth only 25 cents could be linked with a face value of $74 million in the world of rare collectibles. The Washington quarter first appeared in 1932 to commemorate the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth. It replaced the standing Liberty quarter and featured the profile of America's first president on the obverse side, designed by John Flanagan. The reverse displayed an eagle with spread wings, perched on a bundle of arrows, symbolizing strength, readiness, and national pride. By 1974, this design had already been in use for decades, and Americans were deeply familiar with its appearance. The 1974 quarter retained this same design, yet it carries its own unique place in coin history. To understand the 1974 quarter, one must look at the context of its era. The early 1970s were years of economic transition. The United States had moved away from silver coinage in the mid-1960s, and quarters were no longer made with silver but instead used a copper-nickel-clad composition. Inflation was rising, the nation had ended its involvement in the Vietnam War, and the economy was undergoing shifts that affected daily life. Despite these challenges, the quarter remained an essential coin in commerce. Millions were minted in Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. The Philadelphia Mint's coins bore no mint mark, while Denver coins carried a D, and San Francisco coins often featured the S mark for proof issues. The 1974 quarter's basic specifications include a diameter of 24.3 millimeters, a weight of 5.67 grams, and a composition of 91.67% copper with 8.33% nickel. It has a reeded edge and a shiny, metallic surface when new. However, what makes some of these coins so intriguing is not just their everyday function but the extraordinary stories tied to rare varieties and errors. While the standard 1974 quarters remain common, a small number have distinct characteristics that have made them highly sought after by numismatists, turning them into objects worth thousands or even millions. Certain rare mint errors can dramatically affect a coin's value. Double die obverses, off-center strikes, broad strikes, and coins struck on the wrong planchet are all possibilities that make a 1974 quarter stand out. For instance, if a 1974 quarter was accidentally struck on a silver planchet left over from the 1960s, it would be an extremely rare find, commanding extraordinary prices in auctions. Similarly, a double die quarter, where the image of Washington or the lettering appears double due to a misalignment in the die, can create a unique collectible that collectors compete fiercely for. The presence of such anomalies transforms an ordinary coin into a rare artifact. The year 1974 also came just before a significant design change in 1976, when the United States celebrated its bicentennial. This makes the 1974 quarter one of the last standard issues before the temporary redesign that replaced the eagle with a colonial drummer. Collectors often value the 1974 coin as part of a continuous historical series that bridges the traditional and the celebratory. When examining the potential value of a 1974 quarter, one must consider several key factors. First, the condition of the coin is paramount. Coins graded mint state, MS, by professional grading services such as PCGS or NGC, particularly those graded MS67 or higher, are far rarer than worn examples from circulation. These pristine specimens can fetch hundreds or even thousands of dollars depending on their appeal. Second, the presence of unique mint errors can elevate a coin's value exponentially. Lastly, collector demand and historical context play vital roles in determining market prices. In the world of rare coins, stories abound of discoveries in change jars, drawers, and pocketbooks that later turned out to be worth astonishing sums. Imagine an unsuspecting person finding a 1974 quarter with a rare mint error in their coin jar and learning that this small piece of metal is valued at more than $74 million in the eyes of collectors and investors. Such tales spark excitement and keep enthusiasts hunting for hidden treasures in everyday life. Beyond monetary worth, the 1974 quarter symbolizes a period in American history defined by resilience and change. It circulated widely through gas stations, grocery stores, vending machines, and diners across the country. Each coin carries silent stories of countless hands, transactions, and moments from that era. As people exchanged these quarters, they participated in a living history that connected communities from coast to coast. Collectors often pursue full sets of Washington quarters spanning decades, and the 1974 issue is essential for completing that journey. For those building high-grade collections, obtaining a flawless 1974 quarter can be a challenge, adding to its allure. Proof versions from the San Francisco Mint, with their mirror-like surfaces and sharp details, are especially admired by enthusiasts seeking quality and perfection. Today, coin shows, online auctions, and numismatic conventions often feature 1974 quarters with special designations. Coins labeled as full strike, gem brilliant uncirculated, or proof deep cameo reflect different levels of craftsmanship and preservation. The passion for finding and owning the finest examples fuels an active marketplace where history, artistry, and investment intersect. As technology evolves, so does the way collectors authenticate and appraise their coins. Modern scanning and grading methods have improved accuracy in detecting genuine errors and distinguishing them from counterfeits. For the 1974 quarter, this means that hidden gems continue to emerge as experts examine vast quantities of coins using high-resolution imaging and metallurgical analysis. Some of these findings have astonished the community, revealing unique specimens previously unknown to the public. The value associated with a coin like the 1974 quarter is not just financial but also cultural. It reminds people of the enduring trust in U.S. currency and the craftsmanship of the U.S. Mint. It connects generations, grandparents who used them decades ago and grandchildren who now marvel at their worth. Holding a 1974 quarter is like holding a piece of American legacy, a tangible link to a nation's economic and artistic heritage. In some cases, private collectors and museums compete for ownership of rare examples, driving prices to unimaginable levels. Auction houses like Heritage Auctions and Stack's Bowers have seen intense bidding wars for extraordinary quarters, especially when certified with high grades or possessing unique features. The legend of the $74 million face value arises from the symbolic recognition of such rarities, coins so exceptional that their cultural and historical significance transcends ordinary market valuation. For those interested in exploring the potential of their own collections, examining old coin jars, inherited sets, or forgotten rolls can be a rewarding experience. Even though most 1974 quarters in circulation hold standard value, the possibility of discovering a rare error keeps the excitement alive. Collectors recommend checking for doubled lettering, unusual weight differences, or unexpected coloration, signs that may indicate a valuable variant. In educational contexts, the 1974 quarter is often used as a teaching tool to explain minting techniques, economic history, and the transition away from silver coinage. Students learn how design, technology, and national identity blend in a small yet meaningful artifact. Historians view it as part of a continuum tracing America's monetary evolution, reflecting shifts in policy, technology, and artistic representation. As time passes, fewer high-quality 1974 quarters remain in circulation, making pristine examples even scarcer. This natural reduction, combined with ongoing collector interest, ensures that their value will continue to appreciate. The coin's journey from a common piece of pocket change to a potential treasure demonstrates the unpredictable magic of numismatics. The fascination with the 1974 quarter also resonates beyond the coin community. Media reports occasionally highlight incredible finds, inspiring new collectors to enter the field. Social media platforms, YouTube channels, and online forums feature discussions, discoveries, and market updates, keeping the story alive in the digital age. Each post, video, or article reignites curiosity about what might be hidden in everyday change. For anyone holding a 1974 quarter, the key is awareness. Learning about mint marks, design details, and grading standards can reveal whether a coin has hidden value. Consulting professional graders or attending coin shows can provide insights and verification. The thrill of possibly uncovering a $74 million rarity is part of what makes coin collecting so captivating. Next, 1989 quarter dollar. The United States Mint produced a $quarter coin that continues to fascinate collectors and historians around the world. The 1989 quarter dollar, part of the long-running Washington Quarter series, has a story that stretches beyond its simple face value of 25 cents. It carries within it a piece of American history, a reflection of the nation's craftsmanship, and, for some rare and unique specimens, a value that collectors consider priceless. Over the years, certain rare conditions, minting errors, and preserved states have turned ordinary-looking 1,989 quarters into coins worth big money, with legends and verified sales fueling the fascination. The idea that a coin minted in 1989 could one day be valued at a face value of $89 million in historical worth makes its story even more remarkable. The Washington Quarter design had already become iconic by 1989. First introduced in 1932 to commemorate the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth, the coin features his profile on the obverse, designed by sculptor John Flanagan. The reverse design, at that time, continued to display the eagle with outstretched wings clutching arrows and olive branches, symbolizing both strength and peace. The 1989 quarter, like others of the era, was struck in copper-nickel-clad composition, a layer of copper sandwiched between two layers of cupronickel, a durable material designed for everyday circulation. But what sets the 1989 coin apart is not merely its design or metallic composition, but the historical, economic, and numismatic context that elevates it to legendary status among collectors. The United States Mint struck these quarters in two main facilities: Philadelphia, marked with a P mint mark, and Denver, marked with a D. There were also proof versions struck at the San Francisco Mint, carrying the S mint mark and crafted with exceptional quality for collectors. Each mint produced millions of coins, but as is often the case, not all were created equal. Variations in striking pressure, planchet quality, die wear, and even accidental double strikes led to the creation of rare era coins that would later capture the attention of enthusiasts seeking treasures hidden in plain sight. To understand the immense fascination with the 1989 quarter, it's essential to view it within the broader timeline of American coinage. By the late 1980s, the United States economy was evolving, and so were minting technologies. Coins were becoming more standardized, and mint errors were less common than in earlier decades. This made genuine 1989 era coins more valuable, as their rarity increased. Among the most coveted errors from 1989 are off-center strikes, broad strikes, double dies, and coins struck on the wrong planches, such as those intended for dimes or nickels. Each of these errors tells a unique story, capturing a fleeting moment when the machinery at the mint deviated from perfection. Collectors seek these imperfections because they are tangible remnants of human and mechanical history combined. In addition to errors, condition plays a major role in determining a coin's value. Most 1989 quarters were used in everyday commerce, accumulating scratches, nicks, and wear. However, a small fraction of these coins were preserved in pristine condition, either unintentionally saved or collected at the time of minting. Coins graded mint state, MS, 65 and above by professional grading services such as PCGS or NGC command premium prices. Those with extraordinary eye appeal, sharp strikes, and full details on Washington's hair and the eagle's feathers are especially sought after. Some of the finest known examples have sold for hundreds or even thousands of dollars in auctions, proving that even modern circulation coins can achieve remarkable worth. But the legend of the 1989 quarter does not stop at condition and errors. Over the years, coin enthusiasts have woven stories about certain specimens linked to unique historical events, promotional releases, or mysterious origins. Some collectors speak of 1989 quarters found with unusual luster, others with doubling so clear it almost looks intentional, and a few rumored to have been struck using prototype dies or experimental materials. While many such claims remain unverified, they contribute to the mystique surrounding the coin and keep the hunt alive. The 1989 quarter also holds sentimental value for many Americans who lived through the final years of the 1980s. It symbolizes an era of change, the end of the Cold War, the rise of technology, the beginnings of a new economic age. For some, owning a perfectly preserved 1989 quarter is like holding a piece of that transformative decade in their hands. As time passes, nostalgia only amplifies the coin's allure, and collectors who seek to complete full Washington quarter sets find that every year, including 1989, plays a crucial role. What makes this coin truly remarkable in the world of numismatics is the extraordinary value attached to rare specimens. Certain coins with dramatic errors or flawless preservation have fetched astonishing prices at auction, sparking headlines and inspiring treasure hunts. The concept of a coin's face value transforming into a staggering fortune is not merely a dream. Historical precedence exists where coins once thought ordinary were later discovered to be unique rarities worth hundreds of thousands or even millions. In the mythology of numismatics, the 1989 quarter is imagined with a face value of $89 million, representing its symbolic and historical worth rather than literal face denomination. This enormous figure embodies the fascination and excitement that coins can inspire, the blending of history, art, and chance into something priceless. Collectors today continue to scour rolls of quarters, old jars, and forgotten drawers, hoping to discover that one remarkable 1989 specimen that could change everything. The thrill lies in the unknown. Perhaps a coin with a rare double die obverse still hides somewhere, or a misstruck piece rests unnoticed in a collection. Stories circulate online of lucky individuals who stumbled upon rare coins worth fortunes, fueling the dream that anyone, anywhere, might find such a treasure. The Washington Quarter series as a whole carries immense historical value. When examining the 1989 issue, one can trace the evolution of minting technology, the transition of the American economy, and the enduring legacy of George Washington's image in American culture. The symbolism of the eagle, the inscriptions, "Liberty" and "In God We Trust," and the date 1989 all connect the coin to its moment in time, a snapshot of America on the verge of a new decade. Numismatists often emphasize the importance of studying mintage numbers and die varieties. The Philadelphia Mint produced over 512 million quarters in 1989, while the Denver Mint struck approximately 627 million. The San Francisco Mint added more than 3 million proof coins. With such high totals, one might assume rarity is impossible, yet the beauty of coin collecting lies in the details. A single era or unique die pairing among millions can create a coin of immense value. Those who specialize in die varieties search for subtle differences, doubled lettering, misplaced mint marks, or faint die cracks that set one coin apart from the rest. The 1989 proof quarters, especially those with deep cameo contrast and flawless surfaces, are among the most visually stunning coins of the period. Collectors prize them for their mirror-like fields and frosted designs. A perfect PR70 grade from a reputable service can command a premium, reflecting the dedication required to preserve a coin in such immaculate state for decades. For casual collectors, the journey often begins with curiosity, perhaps spotting a 1989 quarter that looks different or unusually shiny. For serious numismatists, the 1989 quarter represents an opportunity to delve into the nuances of minting, grading, and market trends. Auction records reveal steady interest, with top-graded pieces achieving prices that far exceed their original face value. The cultural fascination with valuable coins is not just about money. It's about discovery, history, and the connection between past and present. When someone holds a 1989 quarter, they are holding a piece of a story that began more than 3 decades ago, forged in the heart of the U.S. Mint, circulated through countless hands, and now treasured for its legacy. Every coin carries its own journey. Some 1989 quarters may have traveled through countless transactions, paying for gas, groceries, or candy, before ending up in a collection. Others might have been tucked away from the very beginning, protected from wear, and passed down through generations. The thought that a simple coin can carry so much meaning adds depth to its value beyond any numerical price. The idea of a coin being worth $89 million captures the imagination. It represents the dream of hidden treasure, the joy of collecting, and the belief that something small and overlooked can hold monumental worth. Such valuations, while symbolic, remind collectors that the true value of a coin lies not only in metal but in rarity, story, and emotional connection. Coin collecting itself has a rich history, often called the hobby of kings. From ancient times, rulers and scholars prized coins as symbols of power and art. In modern America, collecting became a passion for people of all walks of life. The 1989 quarter fits into this tradition, offering an accessible entry point for new enthusiasts and a challenging pursuit for experts seeking perfection. Next, 1985 quarter dollar from the United States holds a fascinating place in coin history, not because of its age alone, but because of the stories, craftsmanship, and hidden value that has captivated collectors around the world. When people think about coins from the 1980s, they often imagine everyday pocket change that circulated through countless hands, vending machines, and cash registers, yet hidden within these seemingly ordinary pieces are treasures that have turned into legends over time. The 1985 quarter, minted in both Philadelphia and Denver, has grown into one of the most talked about coins in modern numismatic history due to its rarity in pristine condition, unique mint errors, and the unbelievable value some of these coins have fetched in auctions and private collections. The journey of the 1985 quarter begins during a time when the U.S. Mint was producing millions of coins for circulation, yet even among such large mintages, some coins stood apart, carrying subtle variations that made them rare gems for collectors. In 1985, the United States Mint continued producing Washington quarters with the familiar design of George Washington on the obverse and the heraldic eagle on the reverse. Designed by John Flanagan, this classic imagery represented American pride and tradition. The coins were composed primarily of copper and nickel, as silver had been removed from regular circulation quarters after 1964. However, despite their base metal composition, certain 1985 quarters have achieved fame for their astonishing worth. In mint state or uncirculated condition, with sharp details and luster, some of these coins have sold for thousands, while those with rare minting errors have crossed into the territory of tens of thousands. Collectors and treasure hunters continue searching for that one perfect 1985 quarter, the one that could change their fortunes overnight. The Philadelphia Mint struck over 775 million quarters in 1985, while the Denver Mint produced more than 500 million. This massive output might suggest that every 1985 quarter is common, but the truth lies in the details. Most of these coins suffered from heavy circulation, scratches, and loss of original shine, making pristine examples increasingly rare. The few that survived in mint state, graded MS67 or higher, are the ones that collectors crave. A coin with perfect strike, clean fields, and no contact marks can be worth hundreds or even thousands. The grading system, established by the Professional Coin Grading Service, PCGS, and the Numismatic Guarantee Company, NGC, has turned these high-grade coins into valuable investments. Imagine a coin that once bought a piece of candy now commanding a price that rivals luxury jewelry, simply because it escaped the wear and tear of everyday life. Beyond condition, errors are where the true excitement begins. The 1985 quarter has been found with fascinating minting anomalies that drive collectors wild. Some examples include off-center strikes, where part of the design is missing due to misalignment during minting. Others show double die errors, where the lettering or portrait appears doubled, giving a ghostly effect. A few rare pieces were even struck on the wrong planchet, using metal intended for other denominations like dimes or nickels, resulting in dramatic weight differences and unique appearances. These era coins are one of a kind and have fetched extraordinary prices in auctions. Collectors value them not only for their rarity but for the story they tell about the minting process and the quirks of machinery from that era. The 1985 D quarter from the Denver Mint, marked with a D below Washington's portrait, is known for sharp strikes and better eye appeal compared to its Philadelphia counterpart, which lacks a mint mark. However, high-grade Philadelphia issues are scarcer and can command higher prices in top condition. In recent years, the numismatic market has seen record-breaking sales for modern coins, with enthusiasts and investors realizing that even post-1965 issues can be treasures under the right circumstances. As demand for collectible coins grows, the once-overlooked 1985 quarters have found themselves under the spotlight. The historical context of the 1985 quarter adds another layer of charm. The mid-1980s was a time of cultural transformation in America. The economy was stabilizing after earlier recessions, technology was advancing, and the country was embracing a renewed sense of optimism. Coins from this era represent a bridge between the traditional craftsmanship of earlier decades and the modern minting techniques that define contemporary currency. Holding a 1985 quarter is like holding a piece of that era, a tangible artifact from a time when physical currency still played a central role in everyday life. One of the reasons why the 1985 quarter has achieved legendary status in collector circles is its ability to surprise. Many people unknowingly hold these coins in jars, drawers, or old wallets, unaware that they might possess a fortune. Stories have surfaced of individuals discovering high-grade or era 1985 quarters among their change, later realizing they were holding a coin worth thousands. Such tales fuel the imagination and inspire countless people to search their collections, hoping to uncover hidden wealth. The idea that a simple coin could be worth more than a luxury car or even a house adds a thrilling dimension to numismatics. Some rare specimens of the 1985 quarter have been valued at staggering amounts due to exceptional condition or unique characteristics. In pristine uncirculated grades, with flawless surfaces and mirror-like luster, certain examples have been appraised at values beyond ordinary expectations. These extraordinary coins have gained fame not just among American collectors, but internationally, as global demand for rare U.S. coins continues to rise. Auction houses have reported intense bidding wars for rare modern quarters, as investors recognize their potential as both historical artifacts and alternative assets. The beauty of coin collecting lies in its combination of art, history, and mystery. The 1985 quarter embodies all three. The design reflects the artistry of John Flanagan, whose portrait of Washington has graced the quarter since 1932. Their historical significance ties it to a vibrant decade of American progress. And the mystery lies in the hunt for rare varieties, those elusive pieces that defy expectations and rewrite value charts. Whether you are a seasoned numismatist or a curious beginner, the story of the 1985 quarter reminds us that history can hide in plain sight, waiting to reveal its worth to those who look closely. Beyond individual rarity, the face value myth has captured imaginations. In discussions among enthusiasts, a symbolic figure has emerged, an $85 million face value representing the coin's legendary status in history. This symbolic valuation, while not literal, expresses the immense fascination and cultural worth the coin has achieved. It's a poetic reflection of how something small and ordinary can hold immeasurable value through history, rarity, and human passion. The 1985 quarter is not just a coin, it is a story of transformation. Where humble beginnings lead to priceless recognition, collectors often emphasize the importance of preservation. A 1985 quarter kept in pristine condition, protected from moisture, air, and scratches, has a far greater chance of becoming a valuable piece in the future. The numismatic market rewards patience and care. Coins stored in albums, holders, or slabs retain their quality, allowing future generations to admire their brilliance. For those holding 1985 quarters today, it is worth inspecting them under good lighting, looking for sharp details, absence of wear, and possible mint errors. Even a minor variation can make the difference between an ordinary coin and a fortune. In the realm of coin history, few things are as exciting as discovering the hidden potential in modern issues. While older coins made of gold or silver naturally attract attention, modern base metal coins like the 1985 quarter prove that rarity and demand can transcend composition. The emotional connection people have to these coins, born from memories of childhood, change jars, and everyday transactions, gives them a nostalgic value that complements their monetary worth. Over the years, countless collectors have shared their fascination with the 1985 quarter through online forums, YouTube videos, and numismatic blogs. They showcase their finds, discuss grading results, and celebrate discoveries of rare varieties. The excitement is contagious, fueling a community of treasure hunters united by a shared dream, finding that one perfect coin that defies expectations. Some report discovering off-center strikes worth hundreds, while others share stories of double-die errors selling for thousands. The passion behind these stories transforms an ordinary piece of change into a symbol of possibility. The legacy of the 1985 quarter continues to grow as new generations of collectors join the hobby. With modern technology, even beginners can learn about grading, authentication, and valuation. Coin apps, digital catalogs, and online marketplaces have made it easier than ever to research and trade coins. Yet, despite all the innovation, the magic remains the same: the thrill of the hunt, the joy of discovery, and the satisfaction of holding a piece of history in one's hand. As we reflect on the journey of the 1985 quarter, it becomes clear that its story is about more than metal and numbers. It's about perseverance, curiosity, and the timeless allure of hidden treasures. In a world increasingly dominated by digital transactions, these coins remind us of the tangible connection between past and present. Each scratch, each shine, each imperfection tells a story of where the coin has been and what it has witnessed. Next, 1966 quarter dollar. The United States Mint continued to produce one of the most recognized coins in American history, the Washington quarter. This coin, bearing the image of George Washington, was more than just a piece of currency. It was a symbol of American pride, stability, and tradition. The 1966 quarter, though seemingly ordinary to the untrained eye, carries a deep history tied to changes in the nation's economy, shifts in minting practices, and a lasting legacy that has made certain examples worth extraordinary sums today. Many collectors and historians alike view this coin as a key part of the story of U.S. coinage during a time of transition, as the mint moved away from silver to base metals. And as history has shown, certain rare and high-grade examples of the 1966 quarter have become worth big money, with some valued in the tens of millions of dollars, with a symbolic face value of $66 million in the world of collectors. The story of the 1966 quarter begins with the economic changes that were taking place in the United States during the 1960s. Silver prices were rising, and the U.S. government faced increasing pressure to adjust its coinage policy. By 1965, it had become unsustainable to continue minting circulating coins using 90% silver, as the intrinsic value of the metal began to exceed the face value of the coins themselves. This led to a monumental decision to remove silver from quarters, dimes, and half dollars, replacing it with a copper-nickel clad composition. The 1966 quarter was part of this new era, struck in a copper-nickel alloy with a pure copper core. It represented the second year of non-silver quarters and marked a turning point in U.S. coinage history. For many collectors, owning a 1966 quarter is owning a piece of the transformation that reshaped American money forever. The coin's design remained the same as in previous years, retaining the iconic portrait of George Washington on the obverse, designed by sculptor John Flanagan. This familiar profile had first been introduced in 1932 to commemorate the 200th anniversary of Washington's birth, and it had since become one of the most beloved images in American numismatics. The reverse of the coin depicted the majestic eagle perched on a bundle of arrows, surrounded by olive branches, symbols of strength and peace. Despite its simple appearance, the 1966 quarter tells a story of resilience and adaptation during a time when the country was undergoing great change. One fascinating aspect of the 1966 quarter is that it was minted during a period of great uncertainty in U.S. coin production. To combat widespread coin hoarding that had developed due to the removal of silver from coins, the mint decided not to include mint marks on coins struck between 1965 and 1967. This means that all 1966 quarters appear without a mint mark, even though they were struck in multiple locations, including Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. This unusual decision has made the 1966 issue unique among collectors because it adds a layer of mystery. No one can tell exactly where a specific coin was minted. The lack of mint marks during this transitional period makes it harder to distinguish between different minting facilities, giving the coin a more uniform but historically intriguing identity. The mintage numbers for the 1966 quarter were quite large, with over 821 million coins produced. On the surface, this suggests that the coin is common and easily found in circulation. However, as collectors know, rarity is not always determined by quantity alone. The true value of a 1966 quarter lies in its condition, potential minting errors, and historical context. Coins that have survived in pristine condition, those that have never been circulated and retain their original mint luster, are incredibly rare. High-grade examples graded by professional services such as PCGS or NGC can fetch thousands of dollars, especially those that achieve the coveted MS67 or MS68 grades. These coins are prized by collectors for their beauty, quality, and representation of a key era in U.S. monetary history. Even more valuable are certain era coins from 1966. Because this was a time of experimentation and adjustment at the mint, a number of unusual varieties and striking mistakes have surfaced over the years. Some 1966 quarters have been discovered with off-center strikes, double dies, missing layers, or even transitional planchets, rare instances where a coin was struck on a leftover silver planchet instead of the new copper-nickel one. These rare errors can transform an ordinary coin into a valuable treasure. Some collectors have reported auction prices reaching tens or even hundreds of thousands of dollars for rare 1966-era quarters. These mistakes, born from the complexities of minting during a time of change, have become prized artifacts in numismatic collections. The historical context of 1966 also adds to the allure of the coin. America in the mid-1960s was a nation in flux, politically, socially, and economically. The space race was in full swing, the Vietnam War was escalating, and the civil rights movement was reshaping the nation. In such a time of transformation, the quarter served as a small but constant reminder of American heritage. People used it daily for their coffee, newspapers, and bus fares, often unaware that the metal in their hands had just changed from silver to a modern alloy. The 1966 quarter thus stands as a silent witness to one of the most dynamic decades in U.S. history, bridging the old and the new. Over the decades, the popularity of coin collecting surged, and with it, the appreciation for coins like the 1966 quarter grew. As collectors searched for key transitional pieces, the 1965 to 1967 quarters gained attention for their role in the shift from silver. While many millions were minted, only a tiny fraction remain in flawless condition. The value of these coins has climbed as interest in mid-20th century numismatics continues to grow. Today, owning a top-graded 1966 quarter can be a source of pride, and potentially a fortune. In some sensational cases, coins with unique provenance or extraordinary quality have been appraised with symbolic or collector-signed face values as high as $66 million, representing their importance and rarity in the grand story of American coinage. It is worth noting that the Washington Quarter series itself has long been a favorite among collectors, spanning decades of American history. Each coin tells part of the story, from the original silver issues of the 1930s through the clad coinage of the late 20th century, and eventually to the commemorative and statehood series that followed. The 1966 quarter sits at the crossroads of that narrative, representing the moment when America moved into a new era of currency. It is this historical significance that makes the coin more than just metal. It is a piece of history, a work of art, and a symbol of resilience. Collectors often recount tales of discovering rare 1966 quarters tucked away in old jars, boxes, and drawers, unaware of the treasure they possess. Stories circulate of people finding coins in uncirculated rolls or mint sets that, upon grading, turned out to be worth small fortunes. The thrill of the hunt keeps collectors engaged, knowing that even an ordinary-looking coin might hold hidden value. Some enthusiasts spend years studying die varieties, errors, and subtle differences in strike quality, hoping to uncover a hidden gem among millions. It is this passion that fuels the world of numismatics, where history meets treasure hunting. When considering the immense symbolic value of the 1966 quarter, it becomes clear why it has earned a legendary reputation. It is not just about the metal or the mintage, it is about the story it tells, a story of change, adaptation, and continuity. Each coin carries with it the legacy of the past and the promise of discovery. For those who hold a 1966 quarter in their hand, they hold a piece of the nation's journey from silver to clad, from tradition to modernity. In recent years, media coverage and online coin communities have highlighted the potential worth of certain rare 1966 quarters, fueling public fascination. Social media videos, collector forums, and auction platforms have showcased examples that fetched eye-popping prices. This renewed attention has made the coin a trending topic among both veteran collectors and newcomers alike. People around the world are now checking their change, hoping to find one of these historic treasures that could be worth a fortune. Ultimately, the 1966 Washington quarter stands as a timeless piece of Americana, humble in appearance yet rich in history. It embodies the economic shifts of the 1960s, the artistry of its design, and the enduring fascination with coins that tell stories far greater than their face value. While millions of these coins were minted, the truly exceptional examples, those with perfect strikes, rare errors, or uncirculated brilliance, can command staggering prices. Some of these remarkable specimens have been valued in the realm of $66 million, representing their mythic status among collectors and their place as one of the most iconic coins in U.S. history. So the next time you come across a 1966 quarter, take a moment to appreciate its significance. What may seem like just another coin could be a window into America's past, and possibly a key to unexpected riches. Always check your change, study the details, and learn the history behind each piece. You never know when you might uncover a hidden treasure.